What's up? What's going on? Hey, it's Jotivation, aka Joe Moss here, and welcome to another episode of Finding Your Water. Today's a special day on this show because I got my friend with me, Olivia Jackson.
Hello.
Say what's up, Liv.
Hey, how you doing?
And Liv is an amazing person, and in a lot of ways, in the sense that she's an athlete. She's in school. She has diverse background and different things in that regards. But she has a lot of wisdom and knowledge when it comes to what we're going to be talking about today, which is the female athlete.
Yeah.
And I think that we're living in a time now where I don't think people truly understand the complexity of what females have to go through and still have to perform.
Yeah.
I've never been a female athlete, and it's never been, and so I guess if you don't, there's certain things in life that if you don't experience it, if you don't live through it, if you don't, if you're not anything that's a part of like your regular day, it won't even cross your mind.
For sure.
And so we know that when it comes to being a female athlete, because you were a runner, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, can you tell us just a little bit about your running, and let's just talk about that for a little bit.
Yeah. So grew up in a runner family. My dad was a marathoner, ran a lot, and so I've been a runner for about 6 years. 2 years in junior high, and then all 4 years of high school, and then now I just kind of run for fun on and off whenever fit it into my training. I still love it, obviously, but yeah. So I've definitely been running a while.
That's great. That's great. And so, because you've been running a while, did you ever experience, what was it like as you were you ever experienced any injuries or anything in that regards?
Yeah, so I had a little, just some knee problems. Definitely my injuries weren't as bad as some of the ones that I saw or some of my fellow athletes. They definitely went through a lot more injuries than I thought that I would see. And a lot of it was due to growth spurts and things.
Growth spurts.
Yes.
Growth spurts.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that you can get injured if you're training and you're running and you go through a growth spurt, that you can get injured?
Yeah. Yeah, so those changes are happening in your body, and a lot of people will refer to growing pains, and people know what that feels like, but they don't realize that the intensity of training, especially running, just with the the intensity on your joints and the pounding constantly, that's going to lead to a lot of stress injuries or fractures in the worst cases, and I saw that happen a lot, and it would set athletes back a few weeks or a whole season even, because they didn't know how to understand that those things that they were feeling were going to heavily affect their training.
Wow. I remember when I was, as a strength and conditioning coach, I would have to have these uncomfortable conversations with parents and athletes, and we would talk about the female athlete triad.
Yeah.
Okay, and I believe that was like loss of menstruation, disordered eating, and chronic fatigue.
Yeah.
Like they make up those three things right there,
Yes.
create issues. And if my understanding is that if when you lose the menstrual cycle, okay, due to disordered eating and the chronic fatigue, it affects your estrogen levels.
Yes, heavily.
And then estrogen protects bone, leading to basically allowing your body to be the fracture, your bones to be more brittle and to fracture easier.
Yes.
Okay. So have you experienced anything like that with your friends, and can you just kind of just elaborate more on that?
Yeah, for sure. So I actually knew two athletes who were experiencing some extreme fatigue. They were having a while where they would have really bad workouts. They would go through weeks and they were just not performing to the level that they normally did. And they were, in our top 5 athletes, they were very good. And they were like, oh, we're eating, we're sleeping, we're training, we're taking rest days. I don't know why I'm always tired. I'm just fatigued. I just feel horrible. And they were about, I would say, 15, 16 years old, and they went home one weekend and their dad bought them a box of burgers and their family had a little cookout or
Right.
something, and they came back, and the next day after, like, they ate the burgers that night, and then the next morning we went to practice and we had our workout, and they were like, this is the best workout we've had in weeks.
So hold on. So they went to a barbecue,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and they ate burgers.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, their performance improved.
Yes.
What happened? I mean, because I can go eat a burger right now, and it might put me to sleep. Not necessarily give me, the energy that I need. So Olivia, what happened? Like what?
So what we didn't realize was that those girls were experiencing a heavy iron deficiency in burgers, red meat, green leafy vegetables, things like that give you a lot of iron. And during menstruation, which they were at that age where, menstruation was starting or, really ramping up, and they were losing a lot of blood, a lot of iron, and most people don't realize that with runners, when you run, female athletes, you lose iron with every step that you take.
Wow.
So those girls were just completely depleted from iron in their bodies, and it was creating just this extreme fatigue, brain fog, lack of performance, and it took them going to a barbecue and eating some burgers to really find that out.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Wow. I guess it's just the little things that that produce big results, and
Yeah, it really is.
And so I think some of the things you're talking about is something that people need to know about.
No, absolutely. And I think even in the environment that I was in, I had, a great set of coaches and everything like that, but I also had mostly male coaches, and sometimes for female athletes or girls in junior high who are just starting their menstrual cycle, or, they're not comfortable talking about that yet. I think it's really important that young girls are informed and that they know how to treat their bodies and they know how to read themselves and learn those things about themselves so that they understand, like they're tired, but they're doing everything right. But, it might just be your menstrual cycle. Like you might just need an iron supplement or, burger.
Or just a burger.
Just a burger.
Just a burger. Wow. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. So, coming through, I noticed that a lot of coaches are male.
Yes. Yeah. I had mostly male coaches, actually.
And so as a female athlete, could that be something that just the coaches just don't think about?
It definitely could be. I was blessed to have my dad as a coach. So, there's a level of understanding there and openness that I could, talk about those things. But I know most girls didn't have that. So once this topic came up with those two athletes, like my dad was like, we need to educate ourselves on this. We need to realize that there's more to this than, just training them like a male athlete. It's not the same. So I think with that realization, it helped a lot. But I think that definitely just letting people know that, yeah, there's a difference. And I think that having girls who can go to, big sister type, or if they do have a big sister, or having female coaches, or, someone that they can talk to and learn this stuff from is really important.
Wow, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that you'd be the perfect person to be able to share this information.
Yeah.
I think that, just based off of the information that you just shared just now, I mean, I have a better understanding of something that I didn't really think about.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was never a female athlete. But yeah, so, we don't always understand as male coaches, understand the full effect of what a female might be going through when it comes to those types of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so what happens? So they had the burger. They had a better performance.
Yeah.
Now, did they understand what was going on? Did they figure it out? How did it really truly gel?
I think that at some point, I don't remember at what point in the timeline they went for like a yearly physical. And they told their doctor about what was happening. He was like, you probably have an iron deficiency. Like, this is why this this is why the burgers are helping. This is why this is helping. So the solution was implementing either like an iron supplement, but ideally you want to get it through your nutrition, just your daily nutrition, your whatever your daily diet is. So just like I said, implementing those red meats, which people find scary sometimes. They're like, no, stay away from red meats. But for females, sometimes that's necessary, red meats and green leafy vegetables. There's a whole list. You can Google a list of foods full of iron.
Right.
But, if you're really depleting your body, sometimes an iron supplement is necessary.
Wow. And so with the iron supplement, you saw the performance increase and improve. And obviously you said that you want to get it better through food.
Yes.
So what about your training would need to adjust though? I mean, do you have to like during those time periods, is there a training adjustment that needs to happen? Or what if it's like in the midst of like competition, or, I mean, it's just, I don't know, like what happens? Like,
yeah, it's really just about knowing your body. It's about knowing when, things are going to be more intense on your body, what your body can take at a certain point in time. So knowing that, if you're going through a growth spurt, okay, maybe not as much intensity, or, maybe not as much longer distance, that doesn't mean you have to stop training completely, because obviously exercise is still going to help no matter what.
Right.
You want to build everything and get stronger, but just understanding your body, and especially like with your menstrual cycle, those phases that your body goes through when it's more prone to endurance, because there are times when your body is in an endurance cycle and when it's in a strength cycle, and when it's better to do certain workouts. So there's a whole breakdown of that too.
Okay.
So when you start menstruation, that is a good time to do heavier strength training, because your estrogen levels are lower.
Okay.
So the ratio of like estrogen to testosterone is offset than normal.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like not a higher level of testosterone, but it's higher because of the ratio of it to estrogen. So it'll be more prone to building muscle in that time period. So just even little things like that. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. I think that you could really, truly help a lot of people.
Yeah, I hope so. I want to. I would love to, encourage females, young girls, women to just understand their bodies and know how to just be better versions of themselves in every aspect, and just like knowing how to treat your body and listening to it. It's really important.
Wow. So if you had a message that you can share to every young girl out there that may not know about the growth spurts, they may not understand the menstruation and dealing with intensity and things in that regards, what encouraging message could you share with them, and what would be kind of like a good way to be able to connect with you, maybe an email address or something that in that regards that you can possibly share, that they can contact you?
Yeah, so I have an Instagram. It is Olivia_28, or I also have an email. It'll be just ojackson54 if anybody wants, at iCloud.com. If anybody wants to email me with questions, or, follow my Instagram. It's public. You can find it.
Okay.
But yeah, anything. I'm open to anybody asking me questions.
So what message would you have for them as far as giving them some type of encouragement, would you say?
I would say just trust yourself, trust your instincts, because I think that females especially are blessed with really good gut instinct. And I think sometimes with either male coaches or whatever environment you grow up in, sometimes you're taught not to listen to that. But I would say absolutely listen to that. Absolutely listen to your gut instinct, and trust yourself, and know that like what you're going through, there is a reason for it. And that if you learn to listen to yourself and go with those cycles of life, whatever that is, that there's a reason for it, and it'll be the best possible outcome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Liv, you're amazing.
Thank you.
I'm telling you. I mean, it's just, you truly have a gift of explaining things and letting people understand, like, listen, you're not alone. You're not by yourself. And that you're going to get through this,
Yeah, absolutely.
but yeah, I appreciate you coming on the show,
No
taking time out of
problem.
your busy schedule today, and just spending some time with us today.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Anytime.
but we're gonna work to get more of that message out there, and you know, you just be ready because Liv is coming. She got some programs that are on their way that are really going to help with this issue that is going on and bring greater awareness so that we can see athletes, especially female athletes, be able to perform at their best and be the best version of themselves all the time.
All the time.
All the time, consistently, right?
Yes,
Consistently.
absolutely.
Anything else you want to share or you want to add, Liv, as we end this for today?
I don't think so. I think that was it, everything I had to say. But
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So thank you for tuning in to Finding Your Water podcast. This is your host, Jotivation, aka Joe Moss, and we just want to thank Olivia for sharing her insight today. So until next time, I want to encourage you to be the best you in everything you do, every day, in every way. Much love to you. Peace. We're out.